So, welcome to another episode of Behind the Business. I think this is episode 3 or 4. Today we got my man Donnell on the show. Definitely appreciate you for coming out.
It's all good.
Let's just go ahead and hop right into it. Just so for the people that don't know, kind of give us like a background, on your upcoming, on your story, just to where you are now, just so people know where you're coming from.
Well, born and raised in St. Louis. Went to public school, Southern High School, Webster University, undergrad, Howard University, graduate school, and Texas Southern University, there go Marshall School of Law. Worked in D.C. for a little while as a law clerk. Came back to St. Louis, put my shingles up, or whatever you want to call it, and started my law practice in September 1995.
And it's been in business ever since same month?
Yeah,
for sure.
Not the same location, but the same
practice.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's a long time to dedicate to a certain craft. How did you know with such certainty that this was like the right thing for you?
Well, I've always enjoyed arguing, and I guess protecting or maintaining my position orally. When I was in high school, I participated on a mock trial team, so I kind of knew that I wanted to be a litigator, and so just went down that path.
And it worked. Yeah, for sure. That's cool. So, did you have like a lot of influences inside the house or like around you that were kind of pushing you towards this path, or was it something?
Well, actually, I did. Though I did not have, I was the first in my family to go to college. However, it was sort of like I was a prodigal son when I expressed that interest and was doing well in school. Everybody shared in my dreams, brothers, sisters, extended family. And so I remember my brothers telling their friends, "Nah, you can't hang out with us, you're going to be a lawyer," And so, it had its pros and cons, but they did share in my journey and contributed a great deal. My older brother, financially supported me in a big way when I was in law school. So
no, that's cool.
he works with me now. Yeah, he works with me now. He's my office manager, actually.
Taking care of your people. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
Definitely. So during the whole process of getting into your practice, what do you think was some of like the hardest lessons that you had to overcome? Hardest lessons / obstacles that you had to overcome?
Well, I think there's daily lessons actually. I never really focused on what was the most challenging, but I do know some challenging. Time management is one of the big challenges. You have to give people cases the necessary attention, and you got to give people the necessary attention. When they come to an attorney, even though it may not be major to you, it's major to them. When someone seeks out the advice of an attorney, they're going through something, and they want answers. And there's no microwave way of doing it. So you have to spend time. That's lesson number one, because if you don't spend time, you may be doing a great job, but if they feel like you're not spending time dealing with their issue, they lack confidence. And one of the biggest things you have to do is manage the client and satisfy the client, in addition to doing a good job for them. And there's others, getting good people to work for you. One of my challenges is hiring family. It's hard to fire family, especially for me. It may not be for other folks, but that's a daily challenge, and it is what it is.
Sure. So you're saying that you kind of, instead of focusing on one thing, you just kind of taking a day at a time and got over those hurdles, so it wasn't like anything super major that kind of sticks out to you, that kind of thing, because you just take it day by day.
Day by day.
So if you had one piece of advice that you would give to up-and-coming entrepreneurs, what would you say it would be?
Well, I guess don't try to do everything yourself. Rely upon other professionals. When you need marketing advice, seek out someone who has expertise. Well building, trying to build a website.
Right.
It's someone who has those expertise. If you need an attorney to structure your business, your organization, seek out that advice, accountants and so forth. Seek out those professionals and don't try to, you can try to get an understanding of all of those different things, but it's gonna be insurmountable to try to do them all yourself.
Right. Now, did you learn that the hard way? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
you know, you're trying to save money, man. And let me see if I can do it myself. And you waste a lot of time, and time you can't get back. Money you can.
It's true. You got any like super bad situations from that?
I don't know about super bad situations. Just the wasting time that you can't get back. I just can't think of any specific.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing major.
Right.
No, yeah, because I mean, I was also going to touch on that because I know a lot of people aren't always flush with cash or available capital. So I know you said they're still trying to save money. So if you had, you knew you needed expert advice, but you couldn't necessarily pay for it up front, how would you go about?
Well, you can get expert advice and not be able to afford it. For example, if you need legal advice, you can go to some of the law schools and sit down and talk to some of the people who study law. People who are just getting out of law schools. Many of the universities, the law schools have clinics and offer free advice. Same thing with if you're trying to build a website, people are learning how to do that. Some people have just learned how to do that, and they're making a start for themselves. Seek those type of people out.
So you're saying just be resourceful for real.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good idea, definitely. I mean, that's kind of what ties into being an entrepreneur, is just always being resourceful and trying to be able.
And those relationships, as they grow, you grow. As you grow, they grow. And so, building that network. They used to have something in St. Louis, and I don't know if they still do, called First Fridays, where it was a networking event. When I first started in the practice of law, I used to go to the First Fridays, and there was other professionals and other genres, so to speak. And so I was able to connect with them, and some of them I still have relationships with.
For sure.
Yeah.
I definitely haven't heard of that myself, but I'll check it out.
It's called First Fridays. It was a professional social gathering on the first Friday of every month.
For sure. So how crucial would you say of like maintaining relationships and building that network has been for you?
Oh, relationships is what drive my practice, because a client is a client forever, and that client has family and friends. I've never done any mass advertising. It's just been a word of mouth practice, and so relationships is what's sustained me, actually.
Any like tips or keys to kind of sustain
Just
and
be
build
genuine
on?
to people, man. Just, as they say, keep it real.
I mean, that's something right there for sure. Because with the social media age, a lot of people be acting like something they're not.
Right.
And trying to put up something that's
Right,
not,
right.
authentic. So I think that's great advice there. Have you ever had the desire? I know for like a lot of entrepreneurs, you kind of get like that shiny object syndrome. I know you said you've been in the law game for 20 plus years. So I mean, have you never dealt with that where you're like, oh, this is a good thing, but I also kind of want to do this, and I also want to do this? Have you ever branched out and tried anything else?
Other than law?
Yeah, has that ever happened to you?
I had an opportunity at one point to be a legal commentator for legal correspondent for CNN. I never followed up on it, so to speak. Sometimes I wish I would have, because I love to talk, express myself, and I like politics and I like the law. And so no. Did I have a desire to? Yes. Sometimes I wish I would have taken advantage of the opportunity that I had, but I let it fly by. But I'm happy with my tapestry. I'm happy with the road that I did take.
No, I'm right there with you for sure. So, what would you say is the most rewarding thing about being an entrepreneur, and what's the worst thing about being an entrepreneur?
The worst thing by far is that you're never off. You're always thinking, working, even on vacation. You're thinking, working. Something is going on in your mind related to your business. The good thing is that you work for yourself. If you don't want to go in, don't go in. And that's not always the case, because sometimes you have obligations and you have to, but you don't have someone looking over your shoulder, so to speak. giving direction, and then you can mold your business into what you desire, you know, and take the cases and do the work that you want to do,
Right.
as opposed to work being assigned to you.
That's true, for sure. So, I mean, how do you deal with that? I know you said even when you're on vacation, that business is always in the back of your mind, so it's like you never get a break. Doesn't that get stressful? Like, how do you recuperate?
Oh, it's stressful.
How do you get away from it?
I don't know that you ever get away from it completely. I mean, you take time. I take a lot of short trips, and so I travel a lot. But you know, you really can't get away from it. At least in my field, you can't get away from it for a long period of time, because I'm in a service field where when I'm engaged, my clients want me to do the work. You know, when they go to court or they're in trial, they didn't come for an associate to represent them. So it's a personal type thing. It's a personal service that I provide, and so it can't be separated from it long.
No, I'm right there with you, for sure.
I do a lot of cruising though. So.
yeah, I'm aware. So, I mean, what would you say is? I just lost my train of thought. What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned after going into business for yourself?
Biggest lesson?
Yeah.
You know, the biggest, smallest. I really can't quantify what the biggest lesson is. I mean, just work hard. I mean, hone your craft and try to treat people right. But I don't know if that was a lesson. I guess it was a lesson at some point, but it wasn't a lesson that came about as a result of some failure. It's just something that, you know, parents and grandparents and just people that you've seen in other people that you've been in.
Yeah, definitely. I understand that. So, I mean, man, because you just like, you're a wise guy, so I want to make sure I got you on the camera. I just want to make sure I'm squeezing it and I'm getting the people, you know what I'm saying, what they need. Because like I said, you're a real wise dude. We've had a lot of talks off the camera, and I know firsthand that you give real solid advice. What do you think it is that's kept you in business for so long? What's helped the longevity of you and your success?
I guess just giving time and attention to the relationships that you form going through life. You know, like I say, a client is a client forever. Now, I'm sure there are, as any relationship, there are relationships that have gone sour, but I don't hold any grudges. I mean, you're going to have people who are challenging. You know, sometimes my personality can be perceived as challenging. So, but you know, I think at the end of the day, it's just about peace and love, treating people right, treating people how you want to be treated, and giving people a pass. You know, some people have a bad day. That's not their character every day. You know, we all have bad days.
Right.
So, keep it moving, bro.
You know, I think that's solid. I mean, like I said, I don't want to hold you too long. I think that was a good note to end it on. If you have anything else you want to add, anything you want to like plug in or anything like that?
Good, man.
Yeah, cool. I mean, appreciate you
It's
for
all
the time
good, man.
and for the content, man.